Girl, oh no, baby, I'm mine. Oh no, baby. What's up, y'all? How are you guys doing? I hope you guys have been well. Oh man, let's take a moment to breathe for a second. Let's inhale, hold it, exhale. Yeah, type shit. Welcome back to another episode of Present Not Perfect. I am your host, Mimi Janit. We are going to talk about something that I find to be very interesting. Well, let me just get into it. A lot of us are very intuitive people. We take a lot of what we feel and what we notice within our surroundings as far as patterns we've picked up when it comes to our experiences, and we make our deductions from that. This is where my intuition is coming from, and this is what I'm feeling right now. Sometimes we'll be able to get those intuition pings correct. They'll be spot on. They'll be like, this is exactly what I thought was gonna happen, and this is what's happening. Sometimes it's gonna be like that. But sometimes we're just making something up. We're making assumptions, and we're literally just pulling from our experience without asking questions. We need to ask more questions. We are not mind readers, guys. I don't know if y'all probably practice mind reading and, like telepathic communication, but not everybody does. And most people are not mind readers. You find moments in life where you're having some type of situation with somebody, right? You feel a sense of confusion coming upon you. You don't understand why you're feeling what you're feeling, but you know you're feeling some type of confusion. Some people will take that emotion that's coming upon them and run with that. So they'll either harbor it and keep it within, and then as they move along, they're always going to have that in the back of their mind. And maybe one day something will happen and it'll validate what's in the back of their mind. It'll just make it like, oh, okay, I knew that was going to happen. However, in that sense, you're manifesting that because of the fact that with you feeling the confusion come on you and then you not articulate or express anything to state why you're confused, but you harbor it within you and you don't even notice how you're moving sometimes. We see outside of ourselves, and this is why we understand more about things outside of ourselves versus ourselves, right? I hope you're running with me right here. So we can make our decisions and we will go ahead and move based off of what we see other people and how we believe that they're interacting with us or what their intentions are or anything like that, right? We barely have a chance to really check ourselves, or we barely do check ourselves when it is a situation like that where confusion is building up. We don't often see how we're reacting to the situation, comparatively speaking, when we're dealing with the other person. We always see that other person a lot clearer than we see ourselves. And if we can go ahead and stand back, fall back for a second and say, hey, I'm confused. I might need a little minute just to formulate some questions, or just question right then and there. But just to have that emotion subside, I would suggest taking a minute just to calm down and allow yourself to really come up with a concise question, not a question that comes from emotion, but a question to pull more understanding for where the person is coming from. And there are different questions. We have to ask the right questions. There is a sense of a question not really being the better question to ask, especially in a situation where confusion is there. There are different ways to ask a question. I feel like we believe we're so intuitive. We believe that we know what people's intentions are, that we've lost the art of asking questions for real, which is kind of a disservice to us as people, because we can only assume so far. If we're not taking it as like, I'm feeling this and this confusion is within me right now for a reason. Either it's because of the person that is confusing you, or it's something within you that you'll have to assess for yourself. However, if it's the person confusing you, that's still an opportunity to go ahead and check and see where it is you could try to understand them better. And this will cause you, if you still feel like there's a bit of confusion within, to go ahead and ask a better question. You filtering through what it is that you're actually confused about versus just sitting in the confusion with the person. You can go ahead and assess exactly where that confusion lies for you to build a question that is actually going to get you the answer that you're looking for. At least you went within yourself, and hopefully you're able to ask that person that question just so that you can gain better understanding on where they're coming from. And hopefully, they are strong enough and responsible enough with their answer to go ahead and give you an honest one. Because sometimes a question will be posed, and just so that the person doesn't look like they're, whatever they're doing, when people be like, oh nah, that's not what I was trying to do, but they have no explanation for what it is that they were trying to do other than that, then you can deduce like, okay, so that is what not even so that is, but then what else is it? Like, I'm gonna stick with this until you give me a better response. Like, so you hope that the person will just be honest with you, taking away all pride. The person will also have to regulate their emotion. Basically, the other person will have to understand why they're feeling some type of way about, if they feel attacked by your question, to answer you, like to find that solution and then answer you positively and honestly. It's a lot of self-work, and not everybody even tries to, but this is why I make these videos, because I want to be able to allow people the opportunity, if you do come across this, that it's not even as hard as it sounds. Like, yes, it takes a lot, so that is something that makes it hard. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot to continue doing it, especially when not everyone is trying to do it with you. That's what makes it hard. But the effects of it, what happens, is not hard. Like, the ways we can actually continue to practice this is not hard. It's just the implementation that is hard. Which is fine, because everything that's worth it most likely is hard to get there, so I like the journey. But yeah, it's a lot of self-introspection. It's a lot of self-work and self-awareness that we would have to have for each other, ourselves and each other. And because of the fact that we're not here by ourselves, we can only take our assumptions so far. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this clip before, where it's like there's somebody running towards someone, and the person sees the person running toward them. They don't know why the person is running toward them. They just see the person running, so they start running, right? But the person that was running was actually running to save the person. They saw something about to fall on their head, so they were gonna run to move them out the way. However, that's not the perspective that the person that just saw the person running toward them saw. So they both had different perspectives of the story of what happened, but the truth of the matter was, someone was about to fall on this man. This man started running. This man started running away. Nobody got hurt. So everybody has their own side. But until we ask questions, if the dude would have said like, yo, why? And I mean, I'm glad he didn't stop to say, why are you running toward me? Because then dude would probably got hit. Both of them probably would have got hit with him just standing there to ask. But it was like, if the guy were to just say, why are you running after me? Or pose a question for that, whatever his situation is. Why are you coming after me? What is it that you want? Not even, because if you take it for real life, if somebody's coming after you, if somebody's running after you, you're gonna fucking run. I know that is obvious. I'm just stating it as like, this is a great example as far as like a picture in your mind that you can have, as far as there being different sides to every story, and everybody has their own perspective as to what happened, even though the entirety of what happened is not even from one person's perspective. So that's why it's really good to ask a question versus thinking you already know what the situation is involving. That's what I'm trying to get at. Sometimes it is really just a misunderstanding, but you in your mind thinking you're so intuitive, you know all the patterns, and sometimes you will. Sometimes it won't even be because of your own manifestations. It will literally be an energy field disruption that is, hey, trying to wake you up, you know? However, not all the time. Sometimes we are literally creating these realities for ourselves by the way that we are reacting, by the ways that we are thinking of the situation. One person could possibly not even be thinking about it, right? And when you come up with all of this in a different conversation, and you're bringing all of this backlog into it, and they're just sitting there confused. Yeah, there's confusion because it had nothing to do with you, and you did not come and pose them a question, and you were just sitting there and all of that, and it makes no sense now. Like, it makes no sense now. So it's better to just ask the question. If you cannot formulate a question in that moment, that's going to bring you into a level of equilibrium emotionally and also get you the answers that you want. Take your time. That's what I'm saying, bro. Take a minute. Like, it's okay to slow down. You don't have to have the answer right then and there. You don't have to have the solution for yourself right then and there. You don't. You can take your moment and just think about the situation and then come back, especially if it's a friend. You have that option to go ahead and just be like, you know what, I need some time. Hold on. I feel really confused right now, and I don't know what I need to ask you in order for me to be unconfused, but right now it's not making sense to me what's going on. When I can make a question as far as like what happened, I'm gonna come back with that question. Now, if that affects your relationship, you know, that's for you to really analyze and see how well you can go ahead and come through that relationship. However, you know, I think every problem can be solved. I think that every problem can be solved, especially if you're coming from a good place. If you're coming from a place of good intention and you're not doing something to spite or double cross your friend, I'm pretty sure there's something that you can do that will reconcile the situation, that will help you both understand each other and where your perspectives are coming from, and you know how you just want to be able to express yourselves with each other, just so that within this, now when you pick up this new experience, your intuition, they log that and it pulls in, okay, now when I'm dealing with my friend, if this happens, it's not coming from this place, I'm picking up a new pattern, and now I can go ahead and use my intuition with her differently or him differently. But you learn more than you just stopping at a certain point within the experiences that you've had so far without asking a question to build your intuition more. Because yes, your intuition up to this point has brought you to this point. However, you're not always going to be right if you do not continue cataloging everything that you're going through to deepen your intuition. It's literally our emotions, our everything that's happening is a segue to at what's actually going on. However, if we're not able to articulate correctly what we're feeling and what's going on inside, we are not going to be able to have good relationships with people. There's always going to be some type of confusion that comes up, and then it's just gonna like cause the relationship strain. And yes, this is needed for growth. However, there's a lot of people that stay stagnant in that one position, and you'll have an argument that would last you 3 weeks just because you haven't asked the right question. We need to learn how to ask better questions to receive the answers that we're actually looking for. And if we're just unhappy with the answer, you're gonna have to check yourself as to why you're unhappy with the answer. And hopefully that person is telling you the truth as to what the answer was. You know, hopefully it's not just to hurt you, and hopefully it's not just to keep their pride in check. Hopefully, you know, but we need to ask better questions. We need to figure out how that works, just so that we are not sitting here having like, who got that time? I want to be at peace. Like, if you ask me. So this is why I do my work. This is why I do my self-work. I do not need to sit here going over something in my mind for more than a day. Like, If it's that deep, I have all jurisdiction to go ahead and look at myself and ask myself why I'm still feeling why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. It's on me then. If it's past the day and it's dealt with, I'm in conversation with the person and it's trying to be dealt with and it goes past a day, it honestly would depend on what the situation is. For me, it honestly would depend on what the situation is. Because there are moments where you have to consider the person. You have to consider them and what they're misunderstanding within the situation too. So maybe 2 days. Let me stop. I'm not going to put a limit on it. However, we do have to ask more questions. We do. Like, we need to make this for ourselves a goal, a practice, so that we can come to the conclusions that we're looking for within our communities and, you know, our relationships as a whole, you know. So yeah. I'm hoping this conversation was, in a way, giving. You know, I hope it was giving. I hope this conversation was giving, for real. Yeah, because this is it. Like, we're in this together, guys. We are in it together. So who better to do it better than us? Like, come on. Oh man. So yeah, this was another episode of Present Not Perfect. I am your host, Mimi Chindi, once again. And yeah, I will catch you guys on the next episode. I love you guys. Bye.